Hey guys, sorry it's been a while. It's just been a little crazy on my end. Things have happened. I have moved across the country and I have a huge video coming up right now, but I will have another video with a full update and a little bit, I guess, excitement, different kind of vlogging for you guys to see next week. So stay tuned. But for now, I'm going to go over BMT. So BMT is for the Air Force. So it is the basic military training. And I'm not sure how close or similar it is to other branches, so if you want to keep watching this but you're not Air Force, go ahead. I'm not sure how accurate this is going to be towards you, but I know how it affects the Air Force. So if you're Air Force, you're in the right place because this video is about to be your personal guide. So if you're mom, dad, sister, brother, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you may be, spouse, you have found the right place. You have found a guide through BMT training. And I have all the tips you need in this video. For starters, lingo. There are so many Air Force terms you need to learn, and one of them you can start right now by learning TRS and FLT. So TRS stands for Training Squadron, which is a number that I'm sure you will know if you know your trainee's address. You should have their TRS. And FLT stands for flight, which is just their overall flight group. And that's important for you to know where to find them graduation day. So definitely remember that number because it is going to be handy dandy and it means something to them. One of the biggest tips I can give you is find Air Force Wing Moms on Facebook because they have everything you need to know. So what is a discussion group? Well, you know how I told you about the TRS FLT? You want to know that because if you go to the Air Force Wing Mom's page, they will link you to a group of people with the same TRS FLT for whoever they have, and those are people that are in the same group as your person. And the great part is they're all going through the same thing, they all have the same questions, and they can answer almost anything you have. So the reason why I'm doing this video, not just directing you there, is because I had personal experience, so I might have similar relations, or you might have personal questions to ask because I went alone to my husband's basic graduation and it was chaotic. So I have a lot of tips on how to go on your own or just be prepared in general if you don't have time to sit and read through different files. Another lingo you need to know is WOT, W-O-T, and then there's going to be a number after that. So it starts off with WOT 0, which is orientation week. It is the first full week that your trainee is there. So it's going to seem like a week 1 to you, but it's actually week 0. Next is WOT 1, and this is when it starts counting towards weeks. So it's actually week 2 for you, but it's week 1 of their training, which means they're actually training. They're no longer in orientation, and they are learning how to fold and meet physical requirements, and just basically they're going to learn what they need to know for graduation to pass. WOT 2 of training is airmanship, which is going over, it's just a week spent learning about the history of the Air Force, what the Air Force is, and it covers all that. So they're actually going to be in classrooms during this week. Week 3 is learning how to deal with threats towards our country. So basically they're learning military tips. WOT 4 is basically practicing your skills. It's knowing what to do and what not to do. So show them what you got. So WOT 5 is what they call Beast Week. This is where you'll have no communication with your trainee. They will not be receiving any of your letters. It's just in-field practice. So it's like a practice deployment, and it's really crucial. It's the final week before all the testing. WOT 6 is basically you're learning your final things about the heritage of the Air Force, and you do all your testing such as requirement, physically, and testing wise. So it's a very crucial week, WOT 6. And WOT 7, the best week of them all, is graduation. It is a time where your trainee is about to become an airman, and it is a very exciting time. Everyone's got tons of different emotions. Then WOT 8 is the new Airman's Week, which Airman's Week is the time basically processing in and out for future tech schools. A lot of the airmen now get a lot of base liberty. Not all of them can call, it just depends, because I know when my husband was there, the payphones stuck to wherever they got moved to. So they don't have their cell phones yet. It's still gonna be like a week of no communication for the most part, but it's a week before tech school. So it's a huge week, and I mean, all the rush of graduation just keeps going. So if you haven't already, go check out my how to do a separation, because I have a few tips in there for BMT. But if not, the main thing is just write letters all the time, and that will help time go by. Stay busy and you're good to go. So, but like I said, check out the video I've done before. It is dealing with the distance, and I can give you a few tips there. Things you can expect during basic is maybe 1 or 2 phone calls, if you're lucky 3. It just depends, because Base Liberty, sometimes they decide they'd rather have a really good meal that they've not had in forever versus waiting in a line for an hour for a 2-minute call that you might not answer. So that's really kind of what to expect in between. Expect letters. If you write, they're gonna write you back, and trust me, those letters they look forward to. So write. I'm preparing for graduation. Staying on base or off base? I stayed on base because I was going on my own. It really just depends on how you want it. Your airman's not gonna be too, they're not gonna really care too much. Like, some might even be saying in letters before that they want off base, they want nothing to do with it. When they are off base, they're off base, they just want that free time. Otherwise, some of them are like, it doesn't matter, I'm with you. In my case, my husband did not care. I was on base. It actually worked out really well. I was able to get to him faster. We had more time together. We knew what to do because we had a room to go to if we wanted to just watch movies. So it was a lot easier for me personally to stay on base. When I went, like I said, I was by myself. I was 20 years old, so I couldn't rent a car. So through the TRS FLT group, I met someone weeks before, and which was why you should totally check it out, because you can meet a friend and they can help you and it gets you through really well. So I'm just like all over, because this was a while ago and there's a lot of stuff. So bear with me, because this is a lot of stuff to take on, off. It doesn't really matter, it's up to you. But off base could be like a 20-minute drive, which means you just have to get there earlier. I got to all the events even earlier than most people just because I was on base. It was so easy to do. If you are on Facebook, I will link below. There's a U.S. Air Force military training, or basic military training page that you should definitely check out while they're there, because they weren't really good when my husband was there, but I know some people have found pictures during that time of their husband. It's like the first time you get to see your person in weeks. It could be maybe 2 weeks if you're really lucky after they leave, but they usually update pictures or add pictures every week. So definitely check that out. Graduation, a lot of people do bring banners and they wear the shirts and all that for support. I didn't do that because I was the only person, so it was kind of complicated, but my friend that I met up with, they had a huge banner, and it was, I mean, it's nice, people do it, and it is really nice, but I don't know how you would like run to your person with it, because like, I know I was just like ready to go, but definitely look into that. Air Force Wing Moms has some tips on where to get your banners and so on. I really want to give you guys tips on graduation weekend, because it has its important events that you should know about, and some people don't know about when they're trying to book their flight. So the events always start on a Thursday. Thursday morning there is an airman's run, and that is the first time you get to see your airman, your training, whatever. And it's just a really like emotional thing. My heart had never pounded so fast because I was so excited, and you're gonna love it. But it is the first time you see your airman, and they are running. Everyone that is graduating that weekend, like 500 usually, I want to say, is running and chanting, and you have to keep your eyes up because your person will run by you. And that's where it's also important to know your TRS FLT, because they run with them. They're groups. They have trained together and they are with them. Also, you might know their logo or their color, because color can be pretty important and it helps. So yeah, Airman's Run. Is this them? I didn't see that. No. then back to their dorms. They shower, they change, and then about an hour later, I'd say, after the airman's run, maybe 2, I don't really know, they come back out and it's the coin ceremony. And that is just when they are all marched out to the field and they're divided in their TRS, FLT, and well, flight. I'll just say flight. They're all divided into their flight, and you have to wait for the ceremony. They receive a coin, and then they tell you you can walk onto the platform and tap out your airman. By walk, I ran. I'll tell you, tapping out is the greatest thing, but you might not recognize your person, because I have known my husband 3 years and I didn't even recognize the man. I kind of knew where he'd be standing. I just had this like feeling, I guess, and luckily he was in the front. So I ran to him, I looked at the tag, and I couldn't even tell if it was him, and I read his name tag. So I have these pictures up because I forgot to explain what tapping out is. Tapping out is where you go to your airman and you literally tap or whatever you want to do, and then they're free. They can then move. You have base liberty, which means you just have to stay on base, but you can do whatever you want. If they do want to go to your hotel room while you're on base, or you have to get a pass, which wasn't really a problem for my husband's MTID. I just said MTI, and I realized I didn't tell you the lingo for that is military training instructor. They have been your person's boss. On Thursday and Friday, there are orientation briefings. You only have to go to one. I went out to the one on Thursday, so I wouldn't have to do that Friday. So only one. So Friday is the graduation parade, which is like this huge festivity with like flags and marching, and they're in their nice uniforms. The only thing is, I didn't get to see my husband in his uniform that day because he just had to wear his AUBs, which are just their regular camouflage, but that's because of the weather. But normally they wear their blues. Touring of the dorm is on Friday after the graduation parade, which is when my husband, we did the whole tour, and then they had to change, but they had to change after everyone left because there's all these people in there and you can't really change in front of them. So then he changed into his blues and it was all good. And then he got a town pass for Town Liberty. And all of Saturday is a town pass, and then Sunday is base Liberty, so they can't go off base unless they are an honor graduate, which you will know if they were an honors graduate on Thursday at the coin ceremony. And then it's time to go home, but it's okay because it's just 1 week until your airman gets his phone back, and you guys can talk whenever during his tech school. Maybe his tech school short, maybe it's long. For tech school, if it goes by how many classroom days, so weekends are not included. So just to let you know, if your airman has 100 days of tech school, you get to join him, but remember that is school days and not weekends too. So I can do a tech school video on that if you guys would like. So at BMT, they do offer spouses to get their military ID there. That's totally up to you. Some people do it, I think, but I didn't because I wanted the time, because I had been away from my husband for so long that I just was like, no, I could do it later, which was totally okay because I was able to get my ID. If you're close to an armory or just some kind of base, you will be able to get your ID if you're enrolled in DEERS. Just make sure you have the right paperwork, and if you have any questions on that, shoot me a message, but it's up to you. If you are getting married at BMT, I had a friend do it while she was there. Actually, the girl I met through my TRS flight group. So what she did is about 3 weeks before they decided, so maybe know a little bit before then, because she was stressed because it was just by letters. She wasn't even sure until they actually got there that they were for sure going through with it. So call around the courthouse, see what you need to bring, make sure you bring the right information. You would have to do it on your Friday or Saturday. I believe she did it Saturday or Friday. It was Friday. So maybe do it Friday like she did. It seemed to work out really great. So it is possible. Once you have married, the next week during Airman's Week is when they can start working on their paperwork. If not, because of all the time crunch, I would wait till tech school. That's what my friend's husband did, and it seemed to work out way better that way, because the first week of tech school you're usually actually not even in the classroom. You're just doing briefing and you're doing your in-processing, which means you can add your spouse, and it just makes it so much easier having that little guide. I will definitely put in the description below the link to the Air Force Wing Moms page. I know you would probably think that it's just for moms, but it's really not. They have tons of advice, and definitely check out your TRS flight group because that is amazing. It really is. Any information I haven't given you here, you can definitely probably find there. Definitely ask questions on there that will be willing to help, and I can answer any questions you might have to the best of my knowledge, but I might just send you there if I don't have everything. Sorry if this video was just kind of all over. I haven't had to deal with anything BMT for the longest time. It's been since May 21st or 23rd. I don't really remember, but it's been a while, so I try to do my best to give you the best tips I could. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me privately, or you can comment below, send us a message, whatever, and I would love to get back to you on help. I hope I went over this okay. Like I said, it's been a while and there was a lot of information, but yet I try to make it as short as possible just to make the points. This video probably would have been longer if I hadn't already done the dealing with the distance, but that's really all there is to say about BMT, just because the rest is dealing with the distance. So like I said before, if you haven't already, be sure to check out my dealing with the distance video. There's some tips on dealing with the separation from BMT and tech school, because once you go through BMT, your next step is tech school. So be sure to check that out. Next week I'll have a video up about where I am now and was it a PCS or not. Stay tuned. Hit subscribe because there's going to be tips on tech school and PCSing coming up. So like I said, be sure to hit subscribe. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Thanks guys so much for watching. I really hope this covered everything you wanted. I will see you guys next time.